superstar to Manchester City isn't a priority for Barcelona due to several factors. Could Erling Haaland return against Nottingham Forest on Sunday? Welcome, City fan! Let's check out the latest news from the greatest club in the world. The midfielder from Newcastle United, Bruno Guimarães, is the center of attention in the transfer market, with speculation suggesting he could be traded for £80 million or more, attracting interest from clubs like Arsenal and Manchester City. Under Eddie Howe's leadership in the previous season, the Magpies displayed brilliant performances, securing a spot in the Champions League. Guimarães emerged as one of the key figures in the team, having been a vital piece in both the last and current seasons, with his performances justifying the £40 million invested by Newcastle to acquire him from Lyon. However, his success hasn't gone unnoticed, and now several clubs, including Arsenal, Manchester City, and Paris Saint-Germain, have shown interest in acquiring his services. Howe expressed his admiration for the player, highlighting his importance and the rarity of his talent, stating his intention to keep him at the club, but acknowledging the unpredictability of football and the transfer market. Recent reports suggest that Newcastle would be willing to consider offers above £80 million for Guimarães. Despite a release clause in his contract worth £100 million, there's a verbal agreement between the club and the player indicating the possibility of considering lower offers from Champions League clubs. Both Arsenal and Manchester City are aware of this situation, although they are not the only ones interested in the player. With Newcastle prioritizing the retention of Alexander Isak, Guimarães may be more inclined to be sold, especially considering the possibility of a significant offer. Thus, Guimarães' future remains uncertain, with his trajectory at the club depending on the ambitions and direction Newcastle decides to take in the coming months. Fan, would you like to see Bruno Guimarães at Manchester City? Comment below with your opinion. In recent days, rumors about Barcelona's interest in signing Maestro Bernardo Silva, midfielder for Manchester City, have regained strength. Despite being targeted by the Catalans in the last 2 summers, nothing materialized due to the fragile financial situation. However, at the beginning of this summer, there is hope that Silva's signing could finally happen, given his €58 million release clause and Barcelona's optimism regarding the one rule. However, according to the latest update from Tony Juanmartí of Sport, although Silva is a player desired by Barcelona, his signing is not seen as the main priority for this transfer window. Xavi's continuity as manager means that Barca will once again pursue the Manchester City star, but his signing is not a priority due to several important factors. Firstly, Barcelona is still in negotiations with La Liga to return to the one rule, which requires work to achieve favorable financial fair play conditions. Selling players may be necessary to make room for Silva in the squad, but this will only happen if they sell a forward or a midfielder. Additionally, Ilkay Gundogan has similar characteristics and age to Silva, raising questions about spending nearly €60 million on his signing. Finally, the current priority is to sign a holding midfielder, and only after that and with remaining funds, Silva's signing can be considered, but at a lower price, perhaps around €40 to €50 million. Erling Haaland, the talented forward of Manchester City, is potentially ready to return to the team for the crucial Premier League clash this Sunday at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest. The City number 9 has been sidelined for the last 2 games due to a muscle injury, but there is hope that he could be available for the upcoming match. Following the convincing 4-0 victory over Brighton, City's manager Pep Guardiola was asked about the possibility of Haaland returning to the team on Sunday. Guardiola expressed his preference to have Haaland available, highlighting the player's importance to the team. Haaland, in turn, indicated that he is feeling better, fueling hopes among fans of his swift recovery. Despite Haaland's absence in the last few games, Manchester City demonstrated their strength, especially during the dominant victory over Brighton. The team showcased one of their best performances of the season, particularly during the first half of the game. Additionally, there was positive feedback on Julian Alvarez's return, who scored a goal during the match. Alvarez, a standout player for City, displayed a dynamic form similar to what he showed earlier in the season. With Manchester City in good form and Alvarez showcasing his best performance, the champions could consider easing Haaland's injury. Although all remaining games of the season are crucial, Guardiola may choose to utilize Haaland as a decisive weapon, even if it's just as a substitute, should he return against Nottingham Forest. This decision will depend not only on Haaland's physical condition, but also on Guardiola's strategy for the match and subsequent games. Thank you very much for watching until here. If you're a passionate City fan, please subscribe to stay updated with everything happening with the greatest club in the world. Until next time.